welcome back to our channel. In this video we are showing you how we cleaned our tin system Cookstove. The main product that we used was WD-40. We were watching Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and Doug mentioned that the Amish mainly just use WD-40 when cleaning their Cookstove. So we decided to try it today. That is all the products that we used to clean the stove. And Joel's just going to explain to us in this video on what he's doing, and you get to see the magic that happens with using WD-40. I hope you enjoy.
So we have a Northwood Cookstove made by Sistem.
Hey, be like you're talking to somebody that's a guest in our house. See.
Just a little nervous.
Okay.
Joel, take two.
Sistem's Northwood Cookstove that we got from Obadiah's in Montana. We also got the stovepipe from them, and I think this is a 30-degree angle kit, so it goes out, has another angle, and then goes straight up alongside the house. And we needed to do that because of the stairs, which doesn't detrimentally affect the efficiency of the wood stove, but it does have some quirks when you're starting it. But we've had this stove for approximately 6 months, and it's designed really just for cooking, and it has we don't have it installed, but we did purchase a wood or the stainless steel heating coil for heating domestic hot water, but that's not been installed because we're not using that right now. But it does come with that option. It's really designed for cooking only, so it's not really designed to be used as a primary heat source for a house. However, we have been using it outside of its intended design. We've been running it probably a minimum 16 hours a day during the wintertime for 6 months. So a couple things we've noticed while using the stove is that it really is designed to, once it's lit, to come up to temperature, which it does very quickly. You could have it cold on a winter morning, and as it usually is, it doesn't hold a fire all night long. So when we start a fire in the morning, it will get the oven temperature. The oven temperature will go from 0 all the way up to like 300 degrees. It is the temperature on the stove is in degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, so you have to do the calculation or whatever. But anywho's, it'll get it to like 325 degrees in about the time all of the kindling and you start your main fire starts coming up to temperature. Anywho, so that works pretty good. But as far as using it for primary heat source, it consumes a lot of fuel, and there's not a great way to idle it down. So it has a tendency to get too hot. So to mitigate those things, we did two things. Inside the firebox, there's a grate down here that lets the airflow come in. The airflow comes through the bottom of the door, through these vent holes, and comes in and up through the grate, which also was the ash tract for the wood ash. But what we did to help kind of restrict some of the airflow is I cut a 4-inch piece of 1/4-inch plate that covers about 3/4 of the area. That seems to help a bit to reduce the airflow, and that's not really enough for how we've been doing it. What we do to regulate or reduce the airflow so that this thing doesn't try to burn our house to the ground in the middle of the night is we use a piece of tin foil and place it just inside of the door. And I know exactly how janky it looks, but it works. When you crush the seal, it forms that, basically blocks that airflow entirely. So we haven't really done much to stay on top of cleaning this. This is about 6 months of grime and baked on schmoo from cooking on it. We actually have used it quite a lot for cooking.
We use it every day.
Use it every day for everything.
And Henry dropped his toy sword on top of it, so that white stuff is like burnt on
Plastic,
that we need to try to get off.
which is great for the environment. It also adds a certain zing to your tacos. Well, I'm trying to follow Doug and Stacy thing. It's not a stainless steel cooktop. It's a painted cast steel cooktop. But what we got is varying degrees of scouring pads, some stainless steel scrubbing deals, and some of the WD-40, which the Amish make in their own backyard, apparently. I also got some World's Best Glass Cleaner with foaming action. It is ammonia-free with a streak-free shine. I just grabbed this because I had it in my pickup, and I'm not sure if it will help or hinder the glass cleaning process. But I've tried using the, what do you call that? You know, stuff that the people used to read before the internet.
Newspaper?
Using it. Newspapers. Yeah, I used newspaper with water and had some mild success with that, but nothing over the top. So I'm gonna try to use some of this. I don't even know if that's a good idea or not. Probably isn't. So we've already kind of shown how crummy that thing is. I also got this this wire brush thing because we haven't cleaned the inside of the stove since we purchased it and started using it a lot, and there may be some creosote in there. I don't know. The plate comes off the seal relatively easily, so I figured maybe I'll use this to try to break up some of that creosote if and when there is any. So we did just decommission the stove on what, about probably 10 minutes ago. And it should be losing some. I mean, I could put my hand on it, but it's, if I leave it on there for about that long, it's gonna burn me.
I would use that on the stainless steel around the edges, yeah.
So we'll just give a little. We'll just try this front piece first because they always say to try this in the least conspicuous areas possible. I figure we should do it right out front in case we screw it up, that everybody knows. So I'm just gonna go with the kind of factory polish and see if that kind of, some of the stuff is pretty baked on. Seems to be kind of working. And old Dougie says you should just use long strokes, which is exactly how we got two boys.
Oh, I'm not putting that in here. You idiot.
People think that is funny.
That's not funny. Well, you're a certain type of people.
That's true. People that I like think that's funny. We're just gonna spritz this thing with some WD-40 and try this. Of course, Sarah said pretty clearly that if you do get something on your cooktop, you need to try to get it off there as soon as possible so it doesn't bake on.
I typically try
And
to
so
do that.
what we did was we went ahead and wanted to make sure what she was saying wasn't a lie. And we figured, let's just get it dirty and let it bake on for 6 months at a very high temperature and see if what she's saying is true. And it turns out I'm thinking that she's probably right here. It's also hard to clean it when it's hotter than you want it to be when you're touching it. Alright, so we've tried the blue one. Purple one, or whatever you call it. Oh yeah, that feels like it's getting a good cut on there. Feels like it's getting a good cut. You know? It's just
I would spray directly onto it. Yeah.
This one's definitely seeming like it's putting in the work.
Yeah.
I'm probably applying 15, 20 pounds of pressure to this. Maybe we should take a look, see.
Wipe it with that towel.
Just towel.
Oh
So
yeah.
that did a pretty decent job. I'll give this a little WD-40 action. That's a pretty significant difference.
That looks great.
It looks like factory.
Mm-hmm.
For what we've got on our top, I don't think that this may be useful. So this is a bare metal surface, whereas this is a painted surface. So I'm interested to see what that does when we go. Still a couple little marks in there, but not nearly as. I mean, it's not even close to that bad of a. Great lighting to show that.
That's cool.
Just a little spot right here. Our house probably burned to the ground now that we put all this.
I don't think so.
We go with the lighter one first.
Is that cream salt?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe it is, but it's not hard. There's a bit of like fluffy ash that's just kind of accumulated up here, like fly ash kind of. So now I'll just wipe this whole thing down.
So the WD-40 did a great job. We highly recommend using it, and the glass cleaner did a great job on the glass as well. When lighting your first fire, it will smoke a little bit to cook off those fumes that were left behind from the WD-40. It didn't have a lot of smoke. Just make sure you open your windows and doors. It didn't set off our fire alarms, so it wasn't too much, but just a heads up if you are using this method. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day.